of the divisional round playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the London Bulldogs. I'll be back with you again with score.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the London Bulldogs. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson. Jackson on first down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a third down and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is third and 8. Jackson from the shotgun, rolling to his left. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Given 16 yards on the play, and it's a second down. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Regular. Let's go.
On second down, it's Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
He's checking. Crash.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now, Foreman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Play action. It's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop it. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Here's Jackson. Completes it to Aguilar. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Foreman, and he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. From 8 yards out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. He finds his target. Beckham. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Point it right.
On 1st down, Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the gun, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Again, Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On third down, Jackson. Aguilar has it. And he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Man, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run it with Jacobs. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards as they get to reset the sticks.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Mike 5-4.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Open man is Samuel, complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
It's caught. Beckham. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. It's caught by Aguilar. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Foreman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to regain the lead. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. He finds an opening past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a carry for Jacobs. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with an extra point.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. When you talk to these guys in training camp, these are the moments they say they live for. You're in a playoff game. It's tied, fourth quarter. Time for somebody to step up.
And can you execute under pressure? Because the pressure is intense right now. No one wants to be responsible for making the error that costs their team. But at the same time, who's going to be responsible for making the play that gives the advantage to your team? Who's going to break out? Just what you said.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he works free.
We play to win. Let's go.
What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days that they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football? Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A carry for Foreman. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Jackson, a short throw caught by Andrews. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown! A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are going to retake the lead. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, it's Jackson. It's complete, left side to Aguilar. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson on the move to his left. He'll try and run it, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know, in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Foreman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Foreman. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. Tucker's kick is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
Alert, 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 alert! 36. Hey, alert 33.
On 1st down, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now another timeout called for by the offense. as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, what a move. Fights through and now a crease. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle of the backfield. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Mayfield down. And this is going to be caught. He got it. It's a touchdown. Forget overtime. They're going to win the football game right now.
And that score, in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Go.